But right now, one thing for sure, whenever I'm designing a rational agent, I should know four important aspects of that agent. So if I want to design a solution based on rational agent, or my solution to have a better representation of an AI, then I should have four things associated with my agent's design. First is, I should be able to articulate what is the performance measure. How do I judge whether the agent is doing fine or it's not doing fine? So there has to be some criteria of measurement of criteria of success. So performance measure provides me that. Second, I should encode the agent's prior knowledge of the environment. Somehow there has to be encoding of prior knowledge about the environment that the agent has. So when I'm designing a solution, I should know the environment in which the agent is working, and as the designer of the agent, I should articulate maximum amount of information in terms of a model, and I should give it to the agent as I incept it, as I start it, or as I initiate the solution. So when the solution starts, if the knowledge of the environment is properly encoded in the agent will be much more better performing than I leave out all the assessment of the environment to agent itself as it receives percept. I'll give you an example. I don't know whether many of you have played the Age of Empire video game or computer game. If you have played that game, you know that when that game starts, it used to like that earlier. I don't know how it starts or how it go about right now, but many of the strategy games that we have on computer games, be it Counter Strike or other things, the arena that we work in is not completely visible to the person who you are representing. Okay, you need to navigate and know about that arena, and then only you can uh, use your resources. Okay, so you need to do initial learning about the environment. If your agent and your designer has not done analysis of the environment and not provided you with ample amount of knowledge about the environment initially, then as an agent, it is the responsibility of the agent to, based on the percept it sees, it should try and model the environment and try to build better and better representation of the environment. Initially, the agent won't, in that situation, be able to represent the environment in an appropriate manner. But as it gains more and more experience, it will be more suited, or I should say, it will be more proficient in representing the environment well. Okay, so there are two kinds of knowledge, as they say, they are available to the agent, which is rational agent. One is the built-in knowledge. So the designer of the solution, designer of the rational agent, should always put in efforts in analyzing what type of environment the agent is going to work in. Are there any particular types of those environment? Are there any characteristics of that environment which may help the agent achieve its program or write its program properly? Okay, so that is where comes the analysis of the agent environment. Okay, third thing that here is underlined is the actions that the agent performs. So you should know what actions are possible by the agent. You should know exactly that this agent can have only these kind of actions, and some of the actions, if not possible, you should leave away those actions, and your agent's rationality will depend only on those actions. Okay, third thing, you should be always finding out what are the percepts that the agent can have and how to encode those percepts. So given the scenario, you should be able to figure out these four things. Number one is, you should be able to articulate or define the performance measure using which the success criteria may be uh, articulated. Second thing, you should know the agent action. Third thing, you should know the agent percepts. What are the percepts that the agent has? Depending on that, the percept sequence can be calculated. Without understanding what are the percepts और what are the sensors that the agent has. So the percepts कैसे पता चलेगा, क्या sensors है agent को, उससे मुझे पता चलेगा कि क्या perceive कर सकता है agent environment के बारे में. एक्शंस कैसे पता चलेंगे? अगर मुझे पता होगा कि एजेंट में ये एक्चुएटर्स है, तो मुझे पता चलेगा कि ये एक्शंस एजेंट कर सकेगा. विद दीज एक्चुएटर्स, दीज आर द पॉसिबल एक्शंस. सो व्हेन आई एम डूइंग एनालिसिस ऑफ एनी scenario, I should be able to identify first what kind of environment we are talking about. Okay, what is expected out of the agent? That expectation should be then converted into the performance measure. Okay. Third thing, we should know when there is an agent properly delimited, what are the sensors, what are the actuators. Depending on sensors, you would know using these sensors, these things are perceivable from the environment's description. And then you should be able to articulate what are the actuators using which the actions can be imparted on the environment. Now, once you know the actuators, you will know the set of actions that the agent can do, and you will be in a position now to properly define the agent function. Okay, agent program. Agent function means mapping between percept sequence to action. One way to do it is using the table manner, which is impossible to do if you want really the agent to be working rationally, because percept sequence list is an infinite length list. There could be infinite number of percept sequences that can be seen by an agent in its lifetime, and you may not be able to articulate everything. So you need to devise another way around, and that another way around would be to be able to represent the state of the environment inside agent's mind using the percepts that the agent gets from the environment. And that's why you need to do the analysis of what all are the sensors that the agent has, because doing analysis of sensors provides you information about what percepts about the environment you can gain. Once you can know that these are the percepts about the environment we are getting, we can use those to construct a state of environment, and based on the current state we can remember it for the future in order to replace the percept sequence with this state representation. So we'll come to that point a bit later, but before that we are going to jump now to understand a way to do this analysis in more appropriate manner or more रोबस्ट मैनर. सो ये जो एनालिसिस डिजाइन मैंने बोला कि अगर आपको रैशनल एजेंट डिजाइन करना है किसी एआई सॉल्यूशन के लिए, देन यू शुड स्टार्ट थिंकिंग अबाउट doing analysis of the situation that you see in terms of a rational agent. Okay, and that rational agent analysis should begin with articulating 4 things about the task that you are going to solve. And those 4 things, I'll just come to that. Yeah. And those 4 things are articulated over here. Okay. So we should be able to, so in this analysis and design process, we should be able to articulate or specify. Specify का मतलब होता है बनाना, तैयार करना, articulate करना, create करना, represent करना. Okay, specify the task environment. What is the task environment? जो रियल वर्ल्ड सिचुएशन के लिए आप एआई डिजाइन कर रहे हो, वो सिचुएशन को आप अच्छी तरीके से समझने के लिए you should be able to specify it as if it's an agent. So you should be able to articulate उसमें agent component कौन सा है, उसमें environment क्या है, वो environment के क्या क्या characteristics है. Okay, that will help you in understanding how this agent is now going to solve the problem that I want to be solved. Okay, so you need to articulate first the performance measure, the environment, the actuators, and the sensors. As we say, for an agent to be rational, it should have the performance measure. It should know the knowledge that it has, the prior knowledge about the environment, and that would be known through the study of environment. So you should create, or you should get done a thorough understanding about the characteristic of the environment or the task environment as they refer to it. Then you should know what are different actuators, because with the actuators agent is going to manipulate the environment state. वो जब एक्शन करेगा तो environment का state manipulate होगा, तो actuator would be the responsible components of the agent's architecture that will actually do those actions. So actuators आपको पता होने चाहिए जिससे आपको पता चलेगा वो actuators का combination use करके क्या action कर सकता है. So if I have a robot with 4 legs, I know that using those 4 actuators it is going to be able to walk. Okay, or if say suppose sometimes that robot is standing on only the 2 feet. Okay, if I have a 6-leg robo kind of a thing, and sometimes 2 legs are folded and then it can do a galloping kind of a thing. So different combinations of actuators, you can achieve different actions likewise. You should be able to know what actions are possible, and to know what actions, you should know what actuators are. Similarly, you should be able to identify the sensors as well. So sensors से क्या पता चलेगा, क्या क्या आप sense कर पाओगे वो पता चलेगा, means you will know what can be perceived, what could be the percepts coming to you at an instance of time. Based on that, you would be able to represent the environment state. Okay, so that is referred to as, so this particular thing or this particular analysis process is referred to as PEAS description for the task environment. So this topic generally is asked in examination many a times, which is referred to as PEAS description. Okay, this is called as PEAS description. It is a process for describing the task environment. Description for the task environment or agent task environment. Sometimes they refer to it as agent task environment. Okay, so I guess I've tried to make you aware how this is related to the rationality principle or rational behavior, and I've tried to also make it a point. Just reduce the length. So this is called as PEAS description for task environment, or sometimes also referred to as agent task environment. This is for only rational agents. General agents that you are using in programming, general purpose programming, they may not be intelligent, so you may not think of them always in this manner. You will be more concentrating at that time on input, process and output. So you will be talking about actuators, sensors, and only the environment and performance as a single unit called as how do I convert the inputs into outputs. There also you do same thing. Percepts को actions के साथ represent मैप ही करना होता है, लेकिन वहाँ पे percept सिंगलटन होता है. इनपुट्स आते हैं, उनको प्रोसेस करते हैं और आउटपुट में कन्वर्ट करते हैं. यहाँ पे आप सिंगल परसेप्ट के बारे में ना सोचते हो. यू आर एक्चुअली कंसिडरिंग इट टू बी लाइक अ गेम वेयर इन right from the whistle blows off till the day ends or till the last whistle blows off, उतना ड्यूरेशन में आप एक सीक्वेंशियल एक्शन परसेप्ट एक्शन परसेप्ट एक्शन परसेप्ट एक्शन परसेप्ट सीरीज परफॉर्म करते जाते हैं. Okay, there is always a sequence of actions which are the equivalent to the sequence of percepts that you are getting. Okay, so that is what you are trying to map and gain maximum out of for the task that you are solving. Okay, so let it. I've actually talked a lot today, and there will definitely some time you require to grasp everything. But what we did discuss today, we started off by saying that normal agents may not be intelligent. An agent, to be an intelligent agent, it has to show the property of rationality. Rationality means doing the exact correct thing or right thing given the knowledge that the agent has. Rationality can be attributed to the agent. If I want to attribute rationality to the agent, it should actually have, or it should have some way of defining its performance measure such that we can gain understanding about the success or the failure of the agent. Okay, that will give us a measurement of success of the or failure of the agent. Second thing, it should be not working on just the current percept, but it should work on the percept sequence plus the knowledge that it has about the environment. Now, if we want to incorporate knowledge into an agent's behavior, then that knowledge must be of two kinds. One that comes through the percept sequence. So we must actually know what is coming through the percept and remember set of percepts that are coming to the agent. Plus, we should also have, or we as a designer should also embed certain understanding about the environment into the agent's architecture or agent's definition. That thing to be done, we should do an analysis of the environment in which the agent works. Third thing, the actuators and sensors are very important and integral part of the agent's behavior, and we should also be thinking about when we are analyzing the situation that we are going to replace with an AI solution or AI based solution. We should be able to understand the AI that we are going to create, what could be the actuators, what could be the sensors for that AI. This is one example over here in the book. Now that I've shared the book with you, I would like you to read it leisurely, not right now. Read it leisurely. It's on page number 40 on Russell Norvig.